Disney had a really bad 2023, a really good 2024, and they are gearing up for an ambitious 2025. So, by my count, Disney is releasing 12 big budget major motion pictures. I'm not talking like the low budget horror movies or the Oscar bait Fox Searchlight stuff. I'm talking about major motion pictures, the budgets of which might be pretty impressive. So in 2024, they kind of backed off of the Marvel thing. In 2025, they are plowing in there. At one point, they were going to do 4 Marvel movies in 2025. The Blade movie dropped off the schedule. I don't even know if they've started filming that thing. So I thought, oh, that would be a good chance to like not have so many movies. But nope, they put something else in there. So let's go over it. And in general, I think they're taking some risks this year that will not pay off. And by risks, I mean they are flooding the market and going, you guys will watch all these things, right? Right? So let's go over it. We've got Captain America Brave New World coming out February 14th. This, I believe, it involves a character that is already in the MCU. I don't know it that well. I don't know any of these movies that well, but I just know it's a lot. Will people accept a Captain America reboot, essentially, with a new Captain America? We'll see. Snow White comes out March 21st. I think this one is going to bomb real hard. Does anyone care about Snow White? Like, maybe my grandma would be excited about a live action remake of Snow White, but that thing came out in like 1938 or 39, something like that. When I watched it, it felt like it was so old. It was almost like from a different company. Like it reminded me of vaudeville and silent movies. Like this turning into a live action remake, I just don't think there's an audience for it. And the audience that is there for it apparently is also worried about how the dwarves are going to look and who's playing the dwarves and this whole ridiculous thing about the casting of Snow White and like, look, I don't care who plays Snow White. I just I just don't need a live action remake of Snow White, period. So I think that one is going to bomb hard. The Amateur comes out April 11th. That is a thriller starring Rami Malek from Fox Studios. In some ways, I think Fox Studios has been outside of the Avatars and some other sci-fi stuff. It sometimes has kind of acted like Disney's older targeted movie studio. So I think a thriller starring Rami Malek might fit in that description. Otherwise, not a lot to say about it. The Thunderbolts comes out May 2nd. I believe the Thunderbolts has to do with Marvel. Well, I know Thunderbolts has to do with Marvel because I looked it up, but I don't know who any of these people are. One of them looks like a Captain America villain. I want to say Winter Soldier. I know Florence Pugh is in there, and that is my extent of these knowledge. Who are these characters? Will anyone care? Is this Marvel's D tier? Can I also have Suicide Squad? That's the gist that I get. I think that will be a big test to see if people are still on the Marvel train or if they're hopping off real quick. May 23rd, I believe that's 3 weeks after Thunderbolts, comes the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. I didn't realize this thing was coming out until like a month ago. I guess it did used to be a streaming project. You might be noticing a pattern here. They have been taking streaming projects and going, well, we might actually want to make money on this, so let's put it in the movie theaters, which I think is a good choice to make. Will people show up to see a live action remake of a mildly successful Disney movie from 20 years ago, kind of in the run up to the Disney Dark Ages? I think some people will see it. I don't think a tremendous amount of people will see it. It's going to need to have it's really going to need to have new Disney fans and people in for the nostalgia. I mean, I guess it came out in the early 2000s, so those people that see it probably have kids. But again, if they can't get people to see The Little Mermaid, are they going to get people to see Lilo and Stitch? Eh. Elio comes out June 13th. That is an original Pixar movie. Will people still show up to original Pixar movies? I hope so. I hope you need, as an animation studio or as a company in general, Disney needs to get people to show up, and the way to do that is to do sequels to successful movies, yes, but you need to keep continuing to produce new movies that you can later turn into successful sequels. If you just stop doing that entirely, you will run out of stuff. You will run out of guaranteed hits. So I hope people show up for that. Fantastic Four First Steps comes out July 25th. This is the third attempt by Hollywood to do a Fantastic Four movie. I guess this would be Disney's first attempt, having bought Fox, which I believe had Fantastic Four. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. This is the start of Phase 6 of the MCU, if you care about that sort of thing. I do not, but they probably need the first part of this marketing racket to be successful. I mean, the people that are involved seem good, but it's Fantastic Four. I've never cared about Fantastic Four. Do enough people care about Fantastic Four to show up to this thing? We'll see. If you don't think that's a big test, how about a bigger test? Freakier Friday comes out August 8th. Speaking of 20-year-old movies, a sequel to Freaky Friday? Okay. Yes, it does have Lindsay Lohan and all the people from the first movie. I haven't bothered to look up how successful Freaky Friday was, but I don't know if the world was asking for this one, buddy. Speaking of which, October 10th, another Tron movie, Tron Ares. The last Tron came out 15 years ago to maybe mild financial success. Tron feels like one of those things that Disney makes you think or wants you to think is a bigger deal and a bigger success than it is, but Tron Ares, sure. Will people show up to a third Tron movie? I kind of doubt it. In November 7th, Predator Badlands comes out. I thought this was actually going to be a sequel to Prey, but it does seem to just be another Predator movie with the same director. So, obviously, we should probably trust that guy to make a good Predator movie, considering, by many people's accounts, he made the second best Predator movie in Prey. So, Prey is pretty important because I think it got Alien into theaters, and it's definitely getting this one into theaters. So, I would assume if they budget it well, people will show up and like it. Though I do wonder why this isn't in October. November feels like a weird spot to do what I would call as a Halloween movie, but we'll see. They have Tron Ares in for October instead of Predator Badlands, which I would flip those if I was me, but I'm not a movie executive. November 26th, so that Thanksgiving holiday session is Zootopia 2. That's gonna make money. I don't have any doubts on that. That's a pretty surefire. That's a pretty surefire hit. Will it break $1 billion? I don't know, but it certainly has a good chance. I would argue it has a good chance to be one of the highest grossing movies of the year, especially if Avatar flames out. Haha! Avatar comes out December 19th, so that's your Christmas movie of the year. Avatar Fire and Ash, or as I will call it, Avatar Shape of Fire. There's going to be Shape of Water, Shape of Fire, Shape of Earth, Shape of Wind. My wife said the original Avatar was already Shape of Earth, and I was like, that's a good point. But we'll see. This will probably make money. I really didn't think the second Avatar was going to make a butt ton of money, but it made several butt tons of money. So people show up to the Avatar movies for some reason. It's not really my jam. I still haven't seen Shape of Water, but that's pretty sure bet. So there's some sure bets in there with Zootopia 2 and Avatar and Is there another sure bet? I guess this is a good question. I think I have more confidence in Fantastic Four than Thunderbolts and Captain America: Brave New World, but we'll see. Ugh, maybe there are just two sure bets in there. That's a little frightening. I think there were like probably three sure bets in Disney's 2024 to 2025 it's a lot riskier. I don't know if I want to bet how many of them end up being bombs, but I got Snow White as being a bomb. That's not going to do well at all. I'll say one of the I'll say one of the Marvel movies bombs, and then I don't have a lot of faith in Freakier Friday or Tron Ares. So we'll see. We're gonna find out together. But I think their 2025 is bonkers.